When you wake up before you brush it. Yeah, rich niggas. Rich motherfucker. When you wake up before you brush your teeth, you grab your scraps. All the time you get down on your knees, you don't crowd.
Enter the arena. The Don Juan Banks Uncut. This is New Year's Hangout. We're going to start off with boxing, then we're going to go into the UFC and end with the WWE. But right now, what an honor and a privilege we have on the line covering boxing. This exclusive interview, Rafael Calvo. What's going on, man? How you been?
I'm doing great, man. It's a beautiful night, New
Yes.
Year's Eve. I know you got everyone got to be sipping on something, right? Having fun, enjoying themselves.
You
We
gotta
here, man.
be. It's the end of 2015.
Great year.
Rafael, let me tell you something. It is a pleasure to have you on right now. You are coming up in the game of boxing. Can you tell people about yourself and the things that you got going on before we get in this interview?
Thank you, thank you. By the way, I want to first give a shout out to Don Juan Banks because he's been doing this thing for a while now. You know what I'm saying? In 2015, we've been doing real good.
Yes.
My channel is Rex Righteous One. I usually cover boxing, basketball. I also cover other TV shows and sometimes even sports like tennis. Anything I try to cover as much as possible.
Okay.
Because my whole thing is to entertain the people and make sure that everyone enjoys what I enjoy. So it's all eyes through Raf, all eyes on Raf. That's my brand, and that's how I roll, man.
That's what's up. That's what's up. You're coming up in a game of boxing. Do you have any Facebook pages or anything else people can get at you with?
My Facebook page is Rafael Calvo, R.Calvo 29. That's my Facebook. I also have a boxing group, which is called ADM Boxing, a Dominican Meat Boxing. That is the name of the brand. I'm still building it, but that's another conversation. Another one that I'm trying to promote also as well is called Lelos Boxing. I don't know if you guys heard of it, but it's my buddy Lelos that lives in Sacramento, California. Shout out to Lelos. And he has a group, like page that has about 5,000 likes on there, and then he also has an Instagram. And I share most of the articles on there and vids. So if you want any boxing content, hit that page up and hit like and put your notifications on there because you're gonna have all your up-to-date boxing news.
Yes, sir. Rafael Calvo right here, live and in the building. We've seen you on videos before. You have a huge boxing knowledge, and I'm glad that you came on the show today. So let's get into it because the fans are waiting for the questions that I'm about to ask you, and they are some intense questions. 2015 has been a spectacular year. It has been a year of transitions. We want to start off first. The news the news that has been taking over the media. Manny Pacquiao, 57 638 KOs, will be taking on Timothy Bradley, 33 and 1 with 13 KOs. New trainer Teddy Atlas. This announcement happened yesterday. Raf, what is your unfiltered opinion about this fight being made? A lot of people say they don't want to see it. Some people say, he ran out of options. What is your opinion about this fight taking place?
Okay, well, first of all, I wanna speak about the fact that Manny
Yes.
Never really said who he was going to fight.
Okay.
That to me is, from what I know, that to me seems a little scary. But at the same time, I'm okay with the Timothy Bradley pick. Also, Bob Arum has been quoted saying that he doesn't think that Pacquiao's last fight is going to be in April. So I find that to be interesting. It's going to be in Las Vegas. They're trying to build the undercard as well. But to be honest with you, I feel like people are doubting how spectacular this fight could be. I really think that it could be a really good fight, and I think he's going to get the challenge that he's looking for, and that's what it's all about with Pacquiao. You know, he's always going to look for a challenge and look for a good fight. And some people are not happy because, you know, they expect more out of Pacquiao, or some people just want Pacquiao to leave the sport. But, you know, Pacquiao's an entertainer, man. He's an entertainer, and he's all about pleasing the fans. So, to me, I think it was a great pick, especially if he's not leaving the sport. Now, if he is leaving the sport, I would expect him to pick like a Khan or maybe Crawford, but I think it's because Crawford can't build the pay-per-view numbers like that. And Khan is a good pick, but Bob Arum was saying that they were only gonna fight in Vegas. They couldn't fight overseas or anywhere else. So, you know, they had to pick Bradley, and they were locked in. So, I mean, how would you have done it if you were Bob Arum, Don?
Well, I have to agree with what you've been saying. It's very legitimate and practical. You're looking at a Terrence Crawford. This is a man who you can make millions off of. He's just moved up to junior welterweight. He's captured that title. I would probably, in terms of financial gains, not make that fight. Only financially, my company, my organization, you know, I want a guy that, you know, can be the face. And that's a guy like Terrence Crawford, a guy that can fight in orthodox and softball. So I know that people were really clamoring over that fight, but in terms of financial, I probably wouldn't have made that fight. Amir Khan would have been the guy I would have really want to put in there. I mean, he has the name value, the face value. He's been trying to get a big fight. He couldn't. He was not successful with Floyd. I would have put him in there against Manny, but we all know that that would be difficult to make because of the lawsuit that Bob Arum, Top Rank,
Yeah.
with Al Heyman. But that would have been what I would have aimed for. Then Adrian Broner, we know that was in the media. I just think that Broner, while he's very popular, did not necessarily, you know, earn that type of fight. But you know, Mayweather did fight Berto. But you know, I think that the problem with Broner is that a lot of people just looked at it as a really complete joke.
Right.
That would have been hard to make again because he's represented by Al Heyman. And then, you know, what Floyd Mayweather recently said, that I felt that it was virtually impossible to make. Then we had Timothy Bradley. And I feel Bradley is not a cherry pick fighter. I feel that he's a legitimate contender. I felt that Pacquiao beat him the last two times when he was robbed in 2012, and he definitely beat him the last time they were in the ring. So, you know, if I ran out of options, I would have made Bradley, because I ran out of options, and I think that's why I came. I'm hopeful about the fight. You know, it's a serious fight. You know, so
Exactly.
You know, I think you've hit the nail on the head. You know, this is a serious fight. It needs to be taken seriously. You know, I know some people might not be excited about it. I'm not too much excited about it. I've even made that comment in the past, but this is a very serious fight, and I'm going to move on to the fight. Because Pacquiao, you know, I got Pacquiao winning, but this is a serious fight. Bradley is not an easy contender, and especially when you fought somebody, you know, twice before. They know your movements, they know your characteristics, they know your patterns. Serious fight.
I mean, what's to say that? Who's to say that Bradley wasn't ducked?
Yeah,
you know, he's been ducked before too.
Yeah, by
so
people.
Come on, you know, let's let it go. You know, let's be straight up here.
Uh-huh.
You know, boxing fans we're spoiled. And sometimes things could get we want more than we can get. And the truth is, Bob Arum is not cool with Al Heyman. He's just not going to do any business with him. He's just anything that has to do with Al Heyman, he has nothing to do with.
Okay.
Nothing. So it's all good, man.
Well, I gotta ask you this: why are you talking about Al Heyman? What some people say the godfather of boxing right now.
Wow.
And I don't say anything bad about Al Heyman anymore because, you know, when I go to boxing gyms, they say fighters are eating. If fighters are eating, then don't say shit. You know, that's what people say. When I go into boxing gyms, they say we eat and don't say shit.
Yeah, same here.
So,
I get the same thing. Yeah, you know, it's 100% true. It's very true. He's putting food on their table. So
he's putting food in their mouth. He's putting food on their table. You know, I ain't gonna sit up there and say anything, you know, to take food out of anybody's mouth. But what I will say is, do you think that if Bob Arum was to work with Al Heyman, it would only happen over one fight, and we're talking about Pacquiao Mayweather too?
You're asking me if they could do business again?
Could they do business? Because money equals business.
Yeah, of course, yes. To answer it in a definitive way, yes, they can, because there's other people involved that we don't know, that we don't see, you know, that are a part of the team, you know. And Manny has been seeming kind of quiet about Bob lately. Before, when Manny was a junior welterweight, he looked at Bob like a dad almost. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And same way with Floyd. So things are gonna change. There's different fighters coming up that look amazing, really young,
yes,
looking great. You know, like Errol Spence Jr. or Keith Thurman or all these guys.
Like
they're trying to look into the future, and then they're trying to keep their pockets full in the present. So I don't know. I think it would be a great idea to make part 2, but I feel like they're trying to be ahead of the fans, so they're trying to create speculation all the time. You know what I mean?
Very, very interesting the way that you put that. We're going to move on to the next question. Canelo Alvarez. He beat Miguel Cotto, okay, for that WBC championship. Many people are talking about Canelo Alvarez versus Triple G. They're talking about the weight, the voluntary defense that they made. Your thoughts on that, because that is taking the attention in social media right now. Canelo Alvarez versus Triple G, Gennady Golovkin. What is your take on that entire situation, and do you think it's a possibility of happening?
I really believe that they're trying to go to the next level.
Yes.
Which is make an amazing competitive fight. I'm still kind of like weary about everything, because, you know, some people have spoke on it on YouTube, saying that the WBC president is pro-Mexican and stuff like this. I agree, but I also think that some people do want to see something new, and they want to see top fighters win in a big way. So they might make that Triple G Canelo fight happen. I really think that the chances are higher than, you know, before the Cotto fight. Cotto, I don't know what's he gonna do next. He's got a good contract. He looks like he's gonna be fighting again. But the May fight with the stack card with Triple G and Canelo, I think that that's a great showing. I think that makes money for everyone. But I think that the jig is still up. We don't know if the fight is gonna, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, if you're a boxing fan, you always kind of like lean back, like, I'm not sure. You know what I'm saying? Because Canelo, he's talented, and there's been talks about him fighting Lemieux in May. I think that's great. I think that will be an awesome fight. But
do you think that will? I gotta ask Just catch weight.
Catch weight for Lemieux?
Yeah.
I don't agree with it. I mean,
You say Canelo should fight him at the 160-pound limit
all day.
Ooh,
Why not?
I think
Why not?
I think that's a great opportunity. Lemieux's coming off of a loss, a hard loss. The guy got heart. I respect the guy that has heart. That's going to go out there and fight you to the end. The beating he took. You know, I watched that fight live. I felt pain for him. Why not put him against Canelo at 160?
It did kind of stink for him, right? Because you know the last fight he had before Triple G, he had a great showing. And, you know, let's say if Triple G wasn't even if Triple G was not in the 160, we will be talking about Lemieux being the most avoided fighter. So
Rosado, he just beat Joshua Clottey. He says that he knows he will get a fight with Canelo.
Oh wow. What's your take on Rosado? I like Rosado.
Philadelphia fighter, has a lot of heart. He's a warrior. He will step in the ring, give it his all, no matter what. That's what I believe about Rosado. You know, win, lose, or draw, Rosado will give you everything he has. I met Rosado before. He's a warrior. You know, respect. Got all the respect.
Do you think he'll go 12 rounds with Canelo?
You know, the weight, you know, that's what I want to see from Canelo. You know, the David Lemieux, the Rosado, these are really, you know, strong tests for him. Is he ready for Triple G? I don't want to see him lose because I don't want to see that fight get destroyed. So you're really talking about maybe possibly a catch weight, but they will agree to that. He is the A side. Is Canelo ready for this huge step in his career? We all know that he comes.
It's a big deal.
It's big because Golden Boy cannot afford to lose the face of their franchise right now. So
yep, definitely,
step, this is a game. Like I talked to Quan Paxton, you know, Sergey Kovalev's strength and conditioning coach. The one thing that he always says, and Floyd Mayweather says this too, and you know this, Rafael, this ain't checkers. This is chess. This ain't checkers. This is chess. This is a game of chess. Every move you make is so important to keep that record, because when you lose, nobody don't give a shit about you. And Floyd has shown in his career, is that despite anything I will say about him, because you know I'm very vocal on him, that he does not want the record tarnished. But
it's important.
I think that motherfucker going to get back in the ring again.
Floyd?
Yeah, I believe it. But I'm going to save that for last with you.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to talk about that.
Voluntary defense. Who are you looking at? Who do you think it's going to be? No Lemieux, no Rosado. Do you think it's going to be or somebody that they know Canelo will most likely get the win over? James.
Honestly, Canelo has a lot of skill. Canelo has a lot of skills. So if they set him up with the right opponent, he can win by knockout. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I still don't know who the last person I heard was Lemieux.
Okay, I did hear that too.
You heard that?
He both under Golden Boy.
He made a GoFund?
No, I say easy fight to make. They're both under the Golden Boy banner.
Yeah, and fans will take it serious because his last fight was with Triple G, so he's not gonna hold his punches. He wants that spot back. He wants his rematch. So I think it would work if they did a Canelo versus Lemieux, and it will. And if you're doing pay-per-view, come on, all boxing fans will watch that. Everyone, no one will be like, oh, well, he's not my type of fighter. Nah, Canelo, man. Well, let's see what Canelo could do. But the catch weight thing, I don't know. I don't agree with it. I don't think that's professional. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. We were talking earlier, and in our conversation, you said that you were keeping an eye out on the heavyweight fight that just took place. We know that Tyson Fury upset Vladimir Klitschko to win all the belts, the undisputed champion. And we know he got stripped of the IBF. Luis Ortiz versus Brian Jennings. Your opinion of that fight?
I think Jennings did everything he could with all he knew at that moment, and he gave it all. He gave it his all. And I honestly believe that if he was to get a rematch with Ortiz, he would do a lot better. But I just feel like Ortiz has the bigger punch right now, and that's the main issue. Is that Ortiz is a little bit more elusive. He's a little. I think he's longer than Jennings, right? He's a little taller, right? He's taller than him, so he's using his size on him, and it's just Ortiz didn't do it as if it was easy, but when he exchanged with him after like the third or the fourth round, I could tell that Jennings was not on Ortiz's level.
Yeah.
He was just like a notch or two behind. And it's not because nothing against Jennings, because he's a tough customer, bro. Jennings, he's top 5 to me in heavyweight. Probably on the like the 4 or 5 rankings, you know what I'm saying? 4 or 5th ranking, but still, man, you got to give the credit where the credit is due, man. Ortiz is a serious guy, and he's getting older, so I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah, he's not going to be around forever, but
36 years old, huge puncher, southpaw, difficult to deal with for Brian Jennings, who got started late in the game. You're saying that Jennings gave a good showing. This is a learning experience from Vladimir Klitschko. At the time, was the undisputed world heavyweight champion. Luis Ortiz has that pedigree. Jennings, working with John David Jackson, just has to, take these experiences and learn from it.
He's got to keep building.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
And try to get a title.
Yes.
If he can align himself to get a title, then there's nothing else he has to prove to boxing fans, in my opinion. He's a tough customer. What if he was to get a title and then try to have a fight with Ortiz with a rematch? I don't think any of us would not watch that fight. I mean, come on, he's tough. He's a tough character, and he can go. And with the coach, his trainer, if he can prepare him really well for Ortiz Part 2, with a title up for grabs again, man, that would be a good fight. That'd be like pay-per-view status, But Ortiz still got to move around. He's got to go and look for fights too, because he's not going to be around forever. So
yeah, of course you got to cash in on that money quick, and Golden Boy needs to do that. I agree with you 100%. A fight that a lot of people have been talking about. Danny Swift Garcia, he will be stepping in the ring with Robert Guerrero. People say, Danny Garcia, and, I'm not talking bad about him, but I'm just saying the consensus. I always support Danny Garcia being a Philadelphia fighter, just like I did Brian Bye Jennings. I supported him in this fight with Louis. And that weighed in a lot on my prediction. And I don't make any excuses. But Danny Garcia, he's working himself up this ladder, and he's positioning himself in the right position. We all know this is chess, it's not checkers. And Danny Garcia does not want his record tarnished, because when I sleep at night, sometimes I get nightmares. So don't let Danny Garcia, get that loss on his record. I don't want to see that. I don't know how people will treat Danny Garcia if he has that loss.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, it scares me to death. I think he's even scared to death by it. And I've done interviews with him. 31-0, 18 KOs. He is stepping in the ring with a guy who has experience, a guy that is a natural welterweight in Robert Guerrero. Guerrero has that experience, man. He's
the ghost.
Yes,
the
man.
Ghost.
The ghost. He's been in the ring with them all. He's been in the ring with Gain to Fame. Floyd Mayweather Jr. He defeated. Remember, he made Andre Berto look like E.T. You know, close both of his eyes, fly home where Andre rocked him hard. Look, we saw him against Keith Thurman. He was a human punching bag. We saw him, you know, in his last fight.
Oh yeah, that fight. That was surprising.
Yeah, see, he got dropped. He got rocked. And you know, Aaron Martinez, he gave him a run for his money. You know, he is so, we seeing the punishment, catch up to Robert Guerrero, the Ghost. Danny Garcia picks him at a opportune time. Is going to be in a Staples Center in Los Angeles, California.
Wow.
Tell me what you think about this. A lot of people talking about it.
Honestly, having Garcia do this in a different light is kind of like the same old Garcia, but at the same time, he's still trying to switch it up and make it look brand new.
I like how you made that sound. It's the same old act, but he tries to make it look good.
Yeah, because Garcia, man, look, it's a new year. Let's be real about this, right? Let's be real about this. Yo, man, Garcia has talent, bro. He's a strong kid. I give all the respects to him because he came from the amateur in the East Coast, man. He's a Philly kid. He's a strong dude. But what's it gonna take for him to get in a ring with a solid guy, like a real solid guy, like
the people are talking about? That's what the people want.
I mean, Guerrero, he's a good opponent, but come on, he could have fought him years ago. Honestly, he was ready to be a welterweight like 2 or 3 years ago, Garcia. But I don't want to take anything away from him. He was a champ, and I don't know. He's kind of like taking the back seat and letting Al Heyman pick his opponents. That's just being frank. I got respect for him, and I really think he underestimates himself by letting Al Heyman pick all his fights like that. You know what I'm saying? I think he has talent. I think he could give a Khan or another run for his money again if he fought Khan. What do you think, Don?
I think that Amir Khan is afraid to fight a power puncher who can test that chin. I think at this point, he's looking like a clown.
Khan, right? Oh yeah.
Amir Khan is looking like a circus clown. When you're in the classroom and you were in elementary school and they put you in that corner and they had that big little cone hat on you and it said, "That's what Khan is a joke." And I like Amir Khan. I like the Amir Khan fans, but I'm not going to cater to Amir Khan fans because of his decisions. Look, we're at a point in his career where you can't go back and you only can go forward. It is time that he fights a legitimate contender. And I ain't taking away from the guys that he beat. Oh, of course, they were tough guys. Devin Alexander, Christopher Algieri, but what people are keeping their eyes on is the power that a fighter has. And I think it is time for him to get in the ring and cash his chips in against Kell Brook.
And put it all on the table.
Yeah, it's time. It's a big fight. He keeps saying that he wants a big fight. Okay, you couldn't get Floyd Mayweather. He didn't get a dime on a dead man's eye. He didn't get Floyd Mayweather. Then he pandered and he danced around like a street corner hooker. Yeah. And he wanted Manny Pacquiao. And Pacquiao instead.
In Jersey. Like a street corner. Yeah. In Jersey.
If I drive across that bridge from Philadelphia right now into Jersey, I can get a hooker for $50. Fucking raw. And Khan needs to fight a good contender at this point. Nobody's playing games anymore.
Yeah, Khan is he's a big joke. He's exactly what you said. When the teacher puts the clown hat on the class clown, It's for everyone to see. Don't be like this guy.
Yeah, don't be like. Come on.
Don't do what he's doing because he's destroying his career. I
Yeah,
mean, yes, he's making his little money on the side to say that he's a boxer, so he can model
man.
and take pictures with whoever and punch plastic bottles and stuff.
Yeah, you know, got the bottle spinning there. Who cares? You know, can you take that shot to the chin?
Exactly, and he don't want it with Kell Brook, and Kell Brook ain't even a monster like that. Like, come on, man, that's for your back. That's for your, how do you say, your backyard, UK. The man just took his title, took his girl.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Nah, you need to step up, but
need to step up to the plate.
Yeah, man.
You know, that's what
Don,
people. Yes.
We don't want guys like Khan anymore. In 2016, it's official.
Whole new game.
Guys like Khan, no more clowns like that, man. Broner, he been on that, but he's entertaining. So, we don't want guys like that.
Broner, you know, Khan got all the respect in the world for him, what he accomplished, but we all know he's already at that stage where Danny Garcia, if Garcia can pick up the victory over Robert Guerrero, we know Garcia. We don't want to see Garcia stay in the same spot. We want to see Garcia in some really, really elite competition. And it's what's in your heart. You know, boxing, like they said, is 90% mental. You know, you got to believe in yourself. And I respect Garcia because he stepped in the ring with more legitimate contenders than American. Whether anybody wants to admit that or not, I mean, you know, Lamont Peterson's very tough. I think the Lamont Peterson today is tougher than the Lamont Peterson that American fought back in his day. And, you know, I think that it's just time for American to show us what he got, you know, because if he keeps being scared of a challenge, you know, he's going to be afraid. And when he takes that punch, he might just be looking for a place to lay down. Look, Rafael, we got to ask questions right now. That's what we're going to do right now. We're actually going to screen share. This is the main event. This is the final question right now. Floyd Money Mayweather, 49-0, 26 KOs. He's been very vocal, vehemently. Floyd Mayweather, courtesy for the win. Floyd Mayweather sat down for a big interview with FightHype.com. You know, FightHype.com.
In red.
Thompson, as he frequently does. And it addressed a wide range of issues concerning racism in boxing. Floyd interview circled around 2 points. The first involved his feelings that Andre Ward was being ranked lower than he should have been. Mayweather says that Ward should have been ranked number 2 by the Ring magazine instead of number. Wow. Floyd said, "I can't believe they, Ring magazine, got Andre Ward ranked number 4 in the pound for pound list without Andre Ward losing a fight. He has to be number 2. I mean, he has his fights not in a good fashion, but in a great fashion. And they have him at number 4. They got some guy ranked number 9. I don't really know his full name, so I don't want to be disrespectful, but they got a Japanese guy ranked number 9. They got Andre Ward ranked number 4. And this guy that's ranked number 9, we don't even know who he is. I truly believe that racism still exists in the sport of boxing. They rather see Andre Ward get beat than see Triple G get beat. He told me about the guy, Conor McGregor, in the UFC, MMA. They say he talk a lot of trash and people praise him for it. But when I did it, they say I'm cocky and arrogant, so biased. Like I said before, all I'm saying is this. I ain't racist at all, but I'm telling you racism exists. They go back to Floyd Mayweather and what he said about Manny Pacquiao, that racism, the racism rant, the racist rant. As soon as we come off vacation, and this going back to 2010, we're going to cook that little yellow chump. We ain't worried about that.
Oh, man.
So they ain't gotta worry about me fighting the expletive. Once I kick the expletive, I don't want you to jump on my expletive. So all better get on the bandwagon now. Once I stop the expletive, I make that expletive make me a sushi roll and cook me some rice. So Floyd was caught in
Wow.
the past being racist toward Manny Pacquiao. He says Andre Ward should be ranked, as he said right now, number 2.
Yeah.
Rafael, Floyd has been very vocal recently. He's talked about all subjects. What's your opinion about this latest one?
I wish he was more vocal about his quotes from 2010 like he is now. Cause I love the business savvy version of
Yes.
Mayweather. I think he's done a great job with his gym and his promotion and his brand, and even in boxing, all his negotiation moves, the way he promotes himself on social media, the way he gives back to his fans, and I put in capital letters his fans,
His fans,
but
Flomos.
he's exactly like this guy.
I know they mad
He's
right now.
selective. Hey man, let's be truthful. It's 2016.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Sir,
Let's be real
yes,
about
sir.
this. Let's move forward and let's be truthful. And a lot of Floyd fans know this, and the real boxing fans know this. Floyd can say a lot of things to switch up everything and make it seem like, oh, well, why do they have this fighter here and this fighter here? I mean, come on, man. You know what the business is. Andre Ward hasn't fought in years, bro. 2 or 3 years he's been off his game. He got a leg injury, and he was supposed to fight. What was it, like 2 or 3 months ago on HBO? And he canceled the fight. Wasn't he supposed to be on the Canelo Cotto undercard? And he
I'm not
canceled
quite
because of
sure
his
about
leg. Yeah, he canceled because of his leg. And you're gonna back somebody like that? A guy that hasn't fought in years. I mean, if we were to put this analogy in another sport, people will blast him. They will blast Floyd for thinking that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? When Ward hasn't even fought anybody. Paul Smith, you know what I'm saying? Like, who's that? Like,
Yeah.
who is that guy? You know, I don't really agree with Floyd there, because the whole racism thing, he just tries to use it to make himself look great. But honestly, Floyd has fought a lot of different type of styles, and I give him his respect because he's fought every style,
Mm-hmm.
almost every style, but he's fought most of the styles out there, and he's using the racism card against the people that actually don't really care about that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So the people that are gonna get mad are like the ones that are not racist. You know what I'm saying? The people that are racist are gonna be like, "Yo, he's right," or "Oh, man, that thing could be used against you."
Yeah.
It's like the news, the media.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, maybe I'm saying too much right now, but
No. This is Into the Ring. You say whatever the fuck you want to say.
yeah, it's just the truth, man. Sometimes media could be used against you, and it's not because you are, hateful, or you want to put harm on another culture or something like that. It's just the way things are painted sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And if you run with everything that someone like Floyd says, then you're gonna always believe everything that could be used against your culture. So, that's the way America was built. It's capitalism all day.
Yes.
And I respect Floyd to the max, but I don't agree with him here. Like, this is not new to me. I know Floyd likes to promote himself a lot, but there's no Andre Ward fan out here that could agree with Floyd like this, because even they know that Ward hasn't been fighting enough.
He hasn't been active enough. Even Thunderdome Boxing said that.
There's no Ward fan that could get on YouTube and say that he's number 2, number 1, number 3, number 4, number 5. He's not even close to 5. Like, this dude is still focusing on a knee injury. You know what I'm saying? And I look at the little hidden things, like look at Triple G. He's been sporting the Jordan logo. I don't know if you've noticed that, but whenever he trains, he's got the Jordan logo on. Wasn't that Ward's little brand that he was using? Like some people are taking his spot. This is not 2012 anymore, bro. It's, you know, you got to fight for your spot. And honestly, I'm not taking anything away from Ward. He's a great fighter. I want to see more from him. But to just say that he's better than everybody else that's been working hard, like Sergey Kovalev.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or Triple. I like Sergey a lot.
Yeah, I like him too.
I just feel like he's proven himself. He beat Bernard Hopkins. Has Ward beat Bernard Hopkins? You know what I'm saying? Like, who has Ward beat? Who has he gotten in the ring with to say that he
has played a role in his ranking? We're not saying nothing bad about him, but it has.
Yeah, and unless you beat top name fighters, like, all right, even John Pascal, are you gonna tell me that Ward has beaten someone like John Pascal? Ward hasn't done anything like that.
You know, well, he did beat you know, in the past, Chad Dawson.
True,
but that was a while ago.
Yeah,
that was a while ago.
And some of these guys I'm mentioning, like Bernard and John Pascal, they have their own promotion. They got their own little following, so they're not just some guy that works for another, you know, king like a Don King or De La Hoya. They're actual guys that, like, they're like real business people, and that's what boxing is about nowadays. You got to be your own boss. You know, who's Paul Smith, bro? Like, who is that guy?
Yeah.
I don't know what Floyd's talking about. Well, seriously, Floyd is he's trying to put Ward where he was before he left the fight game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And nobody's gonna take his spot.
You know, people are gonna say, Rafael, this is about racism. You know, you're not engaging in race. What do you have to say about that?
About the
racism.
About what I believe?
Yeah, the racism.
Like, well, I would say that Floyd is he's picking cherries on cultures that are out there in boxing. So yes, there are some Japanese fighters out there that are good fighters. What? Because we don't watch them on YouTube and we don't glorify them on BET. When he goes on BET and everybody's saying, "Oh, we love Floyd," and they on Twitter and stuff like that. No, they're fighters. In some countries, if you're a fighter, that's all you are. You're a fighter. You know what I'm saying? They're not like Broner, that's a character, or Khan, that he goes and talks to people and gets on TV shows and says nothing. Like Andre Ward, like that. He's just pitching himself, but he doesn't fight. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I apologize.
I'm still a fan of the true boxer. That all they do is sweat, breathe, and eat boxing. And shout out to all my homies out there that are amateur fighters that are that are in the Golden Gloves, and they're like almost no names. You know what I'm saying? That are trying to become professional. Shout out to all you guys that actually box and do this for a living, because this is not what it's about. It's not about having a name and being glorified. You know what I'm saying? Someone that works every day to their craft should be on the top 10 list. Ward used to be that, and I don't think he deserves to be that, not because he doesn't have the talent, but because he's injured and he's been out of the game. It's simple. There's no hate towards Ward. You know what I'm saying? Like, Floyd got to deal with the program here.
Ward here is just that he needs to be more active. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, how do you believe? What do you believe
I
of
feel the
Ward? I mean,
same way. Ward just has to be more active, and I would give him the accolades that he wants. It's
yep.
simple as that. It's simple as that. There's no
He
criticism here. I love Ward. I love Ward.
he don't gotta fight Sergey. He don't gotta fight Triple G. Just fight
Be
some
active.
decent fighters. Exactly, and don't talk a lot of garbage, and then all of a sudden you injured. Like I don't. I feel like you didn't get to see how bad he must have felt when he put out that he was gonna fight on the undercard for Cotto and Canelo, and then like 2 or 3 weeks before the fight came up, he said that he had an injury in with his knee. And to me, he came off like a Derrick Rose.
Mm.
You know, who else could we compare it to in football or something like that? Like a Adrian Peterson.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Or what's another sport? There's a lot of guys out there that's the same way that their
Yeah.
fans put him up on the pedestal,
Mm-hmm.
and he should be put up on the pedestal. He has the talent, like Derrick Rose. He's MVP. Can't take that away from him, and he's still on the court right now. But when he gets injured, what happens? Memes out the ass. Memes from everywhere, having him in suits and making fun of him because he's always injured and he got a mask on, and people always making fun of him. But Derrick Rose deserves the shine that he gets because he tries really hard. But at the end of the day, he's not a top player. You can't put him on a top, not anymore. Now Ward, he was that, and he still can be that, but he's not that. He's not number two. Come on, Floyd. It's 2016. I don't know what you sipping on, but you need to stop because it needs to be something brand new. You need to drink something new, bro.
He might get another intravenous WADA World Anti-Doping infusion, and it's kind of blocking his mindset. Right after the
Yeah,
weigh-in. I don't know if he's getting more of
yeah,
that because he's voicing his opinion about everything else except for what the people want to hear, and that's why did you use an intravenous IV illegally?
yes.
That's all I want. I want transparency, Floyd. I want transparency. You're talking like you're still involved in the game when we know you are still involved in the game because this whole thing could be about Floyd, but he's blowing money. People say he's bored and he's looking for a 50th fight. We see Roy Jones, and I'm not going to compare Floyd to Roy Jones, but Roy Jones was a legend. He still is, but it shows you at the end of the day you're a fighter. They always want to get back in the ring again. Marvelous Marvin Hagler is one of the few men who hung his gloves up and never wanted to get back in the ring. Even Sugar Ray Leonard got back in the ring. Floyd
That
Mayweather,
takes a lot of guts.
let's be real. I feel from looking at Floyd, the way that he's commenting, the way that he's acting, is that no matter how much money he gets, he wants that attention of a fight. The attention that Floyd gets when he's about to enter in a big fight is like none other. And you can't get that anywhere else. I think that Floyd's looking for a 50th fight. That's why he's being so vocal. He wants that.
I agree. I agree because the guys that fought like that and went away, they went away. Like Julio Cesar Chavez,
Yes.
he went away.
Mm-hmm.
Roberto Duran, he went away. You know what I'm saying? Guys like Roy Jones, Holyfield, a lot of credit to them. James Toney, I respect these guys. They're all legends. But they can't stop fighting for multiple reasons. With Mayweather, he's talking knowing that he's pissing people off because the thing is, he knows that back in the day, if you talk like that, somebody's gonna come out and want to break your mouth for talking like that. So I know that part of it is promotion, but he has to come out and start saying that he's gonna fight that 50th fight because you can't lie to the fans forever. You got to bring everybody together, man. You got to let people know, hey, I'm still the top dog. I want a 50th fight. I don't know with who. You know what I'm saying? I would appreciate that.
That's all we want. That's all I'm asking for. Just tell the truth.
Yeah. Now the IV thing, I don't know if he's ever gonna talk about it. I mean, how come we don't talk about that?
Shit.
You know? He needs to bring that up. He wants to talk about Ward. Let's talk about the IV. But it's a new year, Floyd. I hope you switch up your diet a little bit.
16 is 44 minutes away. I'm telling you, we got to have you back on again. We got to have you back on again.
Happy to be here.
Any shout out, shout your stuff out. You know, tell people where to go. You know, we're going to have you back on.
No doubt. I want to give a shout out to everyone in Thunderdome Boxing, the group, Facebook page. I want to give a shout out again to the Enter the Arena like page.
Thanks, man.
I want to give a shout out to Laylo's boxing page, Kenny Lopez, Brendan Taylor, all my homies from Washington Heights, New York, Las Vegas, all my buddies here in Las Vegas, all the gyms that I've gone to. You already know it's your boy Rex Righteous coming at you live, and we're gonna keep doing this over and over as much as possible until people can start noticing us, because you know we put in hard work trying to critique these boxers and letting people know that we're out here doing serious work, trying to get on websites and doing some journalist work. This is not easy. This is not us just making up stuff. We got 9 to 5s, but at the same time, this is our future. So just so you guys know, I'm on Facebook, r.calvo29. I'm also on Instagram, raflegend193. And if you ever want to reach me, talk boxing, or get on the podcast, or we could merge, we could come together. It's all good, man. It's all love here, and you know, Happy New Year. You know, 2016. We're doing it big. We're gonna try to come stronger next year. You know, that's all it's about. It's staying blessed.
We want to stay blessed. We want to see more of you. We know you're in the boxing community. Send me your information where they can get to you at. I'll put it in the description box of this video. We're going to put this video everywhere. Check out Rafael Calvo right now. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. You guys stay blessed out there. Happy New Year once again.
Thank you.
Pull around and turn you here to 60 hill. You need on that I go, got me to the trap out.